Alrighty, everybody, welcome into AOE Productions. Thanks to the players, first and foremost, for joining us this week. Erinn, Zach, Luke, and Tad. Appreciate you guys joining us, having a fun time adventuring. If you guys want to follow us, you guys can check out our links in the Twitch chat there. I'm sure they'll be posted at some point. Otherwise, you can do the command bot and just say follow, I believe is the command. So welcome in to all our guests as well to do a brief recap. The players visiting Alderia, Erinn's character's hometown last week. The astrolabe of the Druid of the Stars circle, this large kind of steep hill town in the forest, topped by a large rustic metal device that spins mechanically to aim at the stars and aids and kind of oracle predictions and whatnot. The players essentially started the session there last session, interacted with the town, trying to figure out what was going on during this session before last. Learned that there was some mystical lycanthrope type creatures that were kind of terrorizing the town, known as blood shamans. They eventually circumvented most of the issues and headed straight to the source, finding someone who referred to himself as Dusk as he transformed into a werewolf. They dispatched him immediately in front of his followers, then fleeing to the winds, these terrifying werewolf-like creatures, not knowing what to do, seeing their fearless leader struck down before them. The players took a sigh of relief, and I believe that is where we're leaving off. So, what would you all like to do? I'll say that again once Luke is back.
I would like to loot.
You'd like to loot? Okay.
Is anybody else looting as well?
Okay.
Yeah. Might as well check out his house.
Okay. Go ahead. I'll have everyone roll me investigation checks.
Investigation.
Are you guys checking out the house? Because I'd check out his body.
Kind of all of the above.
I was just gonna. Never mind.
Okay. Everybody give me investigation checks, starting with Erzan.
I rolled a 3.
Okay. Kyler?
17, excuse me.
17. Nova.
10.
And Alderia.
Natural 1.
Ooh.
Jeez, we're bad today.
Yeah.
Rip-a-roodle, my doodle.
+1. Are you proficient?
No.
Kidding, it won't change anything. Natty ones, dude. So Alderia and Erzan, between the two of you, you guys find 12 gold pieces. Sadly, not much coming up. You kind of loot the house, thinking maybe there's some kind of relic or artifact or notebook or perhaps something. Seeing the house as a pretty basic mud hut is a little disheartening. Nova, you find a bone that seems to have some kind of scrawling on it. What languages do you know?
I think it's just, hold on.
Just Draconic and Common?
Yep.
You do not recognize this language.
I speak a couple languages, Nova. I could take a look if you'd like.
Well, the bone's not saying anything.
But there's words written on it, correct?
Yes, yeah. You see kind of scrawling.
Is there? I don't know what this is.
Yeah, it seems to be like a small rib, and it seems to have some kind of scribbles on it.
I'll take a look with you later,
Oh,
Nova,
sorry.
see if I can read it.
Okay.
Alderia might be able to read it. She's a
Yeah, I
druid.
speak 5 languages.
Yeah, between us, we should probably be able to read it, I would hope.
Somebody.
Would you guys like to take a read at
Sure.
it?
I speak Common, Draconic, Dwarvish, and Elvish.
Okay, Alderia?
Celestial, Common, Druidic, Elvish, and Sylvan.
You guys actually do not recognize this language. Between those 5.
Scribbles to me, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's not abyssal or infernal, is it?
You take a look at this piece, Erzan.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize the abyssal script,
Mm.
the antithesis of celestial.
Oh.
It reads, "Dusk falls for the stars." And that's all.
It means dusk falls for the stars.
Wow.
That is,
Wow.
Ominous.
Wow.
given context,
Owen
that's
Wilson,
concerning.
welcome.
Maybe you should hold on to
Who?
this, Alderia.
I should hold on to it?
It has to do with the stars.
Say it
apparently.
again. Sorry, I actually was reading something from work. Sorry. What did
We are playing a game.
I was genuinely saying wow because I had no idea. What did it say?
It says, dusk falls from the stars.
Dusk.
Yeah.
With a K?
Ominous.
Interesting. I'll hold on to it.
Okay. And then for you, Kyler, you find, first of all, you find a small pouch of 20 gold pieces. You're guessing probably this person's traveling funds from when before they perched here, as gold is typically seen as pretty irrelevant amongst the tribesmen. You also find a brief, but and again, considering the locale, a fairly nice notebook. Seemed to be made out of hewn leather from some kind of creature of the forest.
What do you mean the locale?
Note keeping is not the druid's way, typically. This druid seemed to be a little more interested in the findings that they could record, rather than, like orally passed down or
Shitting on the
other
people.
ways. Not that you guys don't have books, but it is typically not the common form of transposition of stories and tales and knowledge.
Is it in a language I can read?
It is in common.
Oh,
And you would guess it is probably this individual's scrawl. It essentially details how there was a few individuals who they would bring out to this. You recognize it as the mud pit that you guys had visited. They would essentially either lure people out there or grab them, essentially, and perform a brief ritual, as well as bite them to turn them into lycanthropes. In particular, you know that his pack started off with himself and 2 others, and there was 4 people that they turned from the village. And they were aiming to do more.
noted.
But that is all you do find.
So apparently he started with 2 of his buddies when they came here, and they turned 4 of the village folk already.
And we saw 4 small werewolves outside, right?
They weren't small. They were smaller than
But
this creature,
smaller
but
than-
about your size,
smaller than
but a
us.
little taller.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming he
Probably
would be
like
out
somewhere
of the
between
pack.
you and Nova.
cool. I assume that's the rest of them, right?
-2. There were 7 total, it looked like, and that was only 5 of them.
Oh, right.
His 2 friends, probably.
So the 4 from the village, it might have been them, or it could have been a mixture, but there's 2
Mhm.
unaccounted for.
Oh.
Well,
Well, we're gonna have to find them, aren't we? Sure, they're
Yeah.
not gonna pick up the reins after now that big boy's gone.
If any of the rest of them can complete the ritual as well, that might be a problem.
Right.
right.
What would y'all like to do
Well, it's the middle of the night.
in the aftermath?
You should probably sleep.
Nap time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys, what did you call it last week?
Oh.
Shit. Well, anyways, you take a rest from your spying upon someone's house and then assaulting them.
Oh, the kale out.
The kale out.
Yeah, it was already kale out, but then it changed. Sprout out.
Sprout out.
Out.
You take a rest from your sprout out. Go ahead and let me have a percentile roll from Senior Kylar.
Oh my. Well, that's not great. 51.
51. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
I'm so sorry, little one.
Okay, understood. The night, as you guys kind of return, I assume back to the kind of astrolabe itself structure of Alderia's traditional home. It seems to go smoothly, as far as you guys can tell. Nothing seems to go down. So you can all gain the benefits of a long rest. And you wake up the next day, and the day is yours. It doesn't seem to... No trouble happens in the night, as far as you can tell.
As we're like waking up and eating breakfast, I kind of look over to Alderia and say, should we report what we found to your parents?
Yes, we probably should. Give them an update.
So you guys make your way, getting kind of used to what it's like to be back and be around these individuals, eventually finding Rowan in particular. For one in very few times you've seen him alone without Holly. Seems to be tending to some bowstrings. Yes, what can I do for you, Alderia?
So we found the reason that I don't know when we last updated you. We found the reason people were disappearing. And it was a lycanthrope. Thrope.
There you go.
It was a werewolf.
Mm.
And he was taking people, and we think he was turning them into werewolves. And he said it was to strengthen the tribe. But we killed him. And we think there might be 2 others who might be able to also turn people into werewolves. And yeah.
Rowan, to interject, I recovered his journal that detailed some of the aspects of his rituals. I feel he might have been the alpha of this pack, as he was kind of the leader and he was the most formidable. I hand him the journal. If you can glean any knowledge from this, we've already read it.
I appreciate this, Kylar. And all of you. Flips through the book for a second. I've never heard of such rituals. To think Kuma would stoop so low. Kind of shuts it with one hand. Do you mind if I hold on to this?
Absolutely.
Sets it kind of down to the side. On a kind of table in this room. Seems to have a couple different bows lined up on it and arrows and those kinds of things. Seemingly out of bone shape and just simple wood and string. Seems to be just kind of not intending on leaving it. But your investigation, I think it has served you very well, and us as well. I appreciate it greatly. Why do you believe this was the alpha of their pack?
He summoned others in the middle of our fight to him. And that journal leads me to believe that he was the one calling the shots. However, he did come here with 2 others before he started turning your villagers.
2 others?
That's what his notebook detailed anyways, and that gives me some concern. And additionally, the 4 that we encountered along with him escaped before we were able to give them more than a glancing blow.
I cannot seem to recall anyone that joined him when he moved into our village. It seems unlikely they've been hiding amongst us all this time in that case. Unless they moved in later or before him. I'll have to investigate. As far as your theory that he's the alpha, It seems sound. He does have the inscription for this transformation ritual. Perhaps that was his key to undermining us.
Yeah, and he was real tall. So
That is terrifying. Remembering Rowan is a fairly stocky, probably 5'8", muscle-bound, but small humanoid. Well, I do appreciate the reportings, and all the effort you've put in thus far has gone beyond what we could ask for. So,
Well, it's still not closed as far as I'm concerned. I'm concerned that they might be able to potentially continue even if their alpha is gone.
it is a possibility. Well, if you should choose to hunt them down, I believe we could dig into some coffers and reward you for it.
That's not really a concern at the moment. I'm more focused on not leaving a job half done. It's not in my nature.
Well, I will not stop you.
Sorry, go ahead.
I will not stop you. Should you choose to conclude your business, the effort you have put in will not be forgotten. Should you choose to continue, we would be most grateful as well.
I can speak for the rest of my party, but knowing that we only gave half effort to help Alderia's people leaves a bad taste in my mouth personally. But again, I'm only a part of this, and I don't have the full say, so I would leave it up to the rest of them to decide what they would like to do as well.
but we're doing it.
Yeah, I can't. It wouldn't sit right with me if we didn't at least ensure that no more werewolves can be created.
I think that would be a suitable closure. If we could at least put a stop to this transformation, I think that would be suitable.
Well, it seems to me that indicated in this book, without the ritual, these creatures cannot produce another. If you can guarantee the demise of this ritual, perhaps the sanctum that it is in, and prevent it from being used again, this could be a good first step into stopping that from happening.
Out of game.
Yeah.
Did the notebook detail the location of the place that they were doing this?
It seemed to heavily insinuate that it was that area where
where we
Alderia
met
led
them?
you with her sniffer.
Okay. Did we see anything like runes carved into trees or like implements that were left?
When you were there, it seemed to be a pretty basic mud hole with footprints. You guys took a brief investigation and decided to go sprout out instead.
I smelled blood.
You smelled a lot of blood.
Maybe we
and
should go
saw
back
a lot of
and
footprints.
dig a little further, see if there's anything that we missed,
Sure.
or if there's any implements that Kuma might have had in his hut that we missed.
How exactly
Grasping
does the
at straws.
ritual? Does the journal detail how the ritual works?
Yeah, it does pretty in depth at that. Notably, that you have to use an animal sacrifice as well as bite individual who is to be afflicted during the height of the night with which you want them to turn. Only specifically on a full moonlit night. There's
And
a
you have
couple
to
other
be in downward
inflictions.
dog.
You have to bite the ass.
Eat their ass.
Whap.
Whap. You also
Ha!
get that there is. It's cryptic, but there seems to be a symbol drawn of a crescent moon with a small sun kind of nestled in to finish the circle right here.
Okay.
But yeah, it notes a couple other things. The ritual particularly likes bird sacrifices, you notice. Skulls of birds or rams are often used to decorate the ends of the moon, things like that. Particulars that seem to be like the accessories to this magic.
Would I know anything about that symbol, the crescent moon and sun?
I would say, are you proficient in religion?
Religion and Arcana.
Okay. Arcana, you would not recognize it with. Go ahead and roll me a religion check.
Just so you know, I rolled my Cosmic Omen and got Wheel.
Good to know. Thank you.
I got an 18.
18 on religion. This doesn't seem to ring any bells to you currently. It's definitely religious iconography. But with your particular studies, you're guessing it's something that you've read about, but it's not occurring to you greatly with an 18.
Here's done. It's foggy. I can't really recall anything. Have you noticed anything?
I can take a look.
you done any-
During my training when I was younger with the Golden Bulwark, we at least were exposed to other belief systems. Can I?
You're more devout than I am. You would have a better shot at it. I just am a little
Okay.
worldly, and it didn't ring any bells specifically.
Worldly.
Can at least try. Can I roll a religion check to see if
Yeah.
I
Are you proficient?
recognize this symbol? I am.
Okay, go ahead.
Recognize the symbol from my acolyte upbringing.
Sure.
I rolled a 19.
A 19. I'll say with your background, I'll bump the DC by 1 with your background. You've convinced me. Let me go ahead and get you some information about this religious symbol. One moment, please.
So the
Okay.
DC was 20.
Yes, it is tough. It is not something most people
Yeah,
have
that's
encountered.
That's a hard DC, and I only have a +4.
Especially for this group of unintelligent swine.
Hey,
Hey, I got a +1. Okay.
we're unintelligent, but we're religious.
It's true.
We're
No,
unintelligent.
speak for yourself.
And
There's-
we're religious.
There's something to
Thank
be
you.
said.
So for your purposes, Roseanne, and this Kyler largely agrees with you as you start to kind of hear it play out. You seem to remember picking
Yeah.
pieces here and there. This seems to be a symbol, not strictly the symbol, but probably a symbol in worship of the god Renos, the god of the swamps.
Swamps?
Yes.
Like,
one of the
get out
deities
me
of the
swamp.
domains. Like you get out me swamp, yes.
Is there another swamp?
I'm having trouble like understanding words.
Oh, okay. I thought
It's
maybe you were
also
just
one of those days for me.
It's
I
just
get it.
it's been a whole day.
Shrek, god of the
doing?
swamps.
Been a whole last
swamp.
day.
You said
Out of
Renos?
the swamp. Renos,
Shrek.
yeah. Just the kind of darker, eclipsing iconography kind of gives it away. You know this for sure not to be something to like a god like Baal. Excuse me. Let me not fuck up my own god's names.
It's not
Bane.
happy.
Right. And that kind of sets you off this path of trying to figure out, well, is it Kalemvor? Maybe Malar or something like that. And eventually you come to the recognition that you probably read about a similar symbol to this, being iconography to the god Renos of the swamps.
Do I associate Renos specifically with the Abyss?
Not particularly. It's the swamps and the worship of the god Renos as an extension of them are typically considered one of the more like morbid, I guess, worships. It's not like morbid, but the natural gods tend to fall in the neutral territory as it stands, anyways, and the swamps is kind of the darker reflection of that small pantheon, if you will. Not evil per
of
se,
nature
but-
of nature gods, you mean?
yeah, it is more of like the rot and
Yep.
decay and
And
fermenting and
Yeah, I understand. I was just more so asking since he had the bone with the abyssal, right?
yeah, you would reckon that abyssal, often being kind of a counterpart to celestial, this would be something that maybe a very twisted follower of Renos wrote onto this.
Sure. Alderia, can I see that bone for a moment?
Here you go.
I would like to cast detect magic real quick.
You're not gonna keep
You
it?
sense a very heavy necromancy magic. I almost said necromancy.
Necromancy.
The emphasis is on the wrong syllable.
Oh, there is some manner of necromantic enchantment on this bone.
Interesting.
I would like to present it to Rowan and tell him, Rowan, we found this on Dusk's corpse.
Yeah,
right.
you mean Kuma, correct?
Kuma, yeah. Kuma, he went by Dusk as his werewolf name.
Oh, that's
we
right.
found
I
it.
forgot.
Right. We found it on his corpse. It says, Dusk brings the... What did it say?
Dusk falls from the stars.
Dusk falls from the stars?
For the stars.
For the
For
stars?
the stars.
It says Dusk falls for the stars. I just had the mind to check it, and it has a heavy necromantic enchantment on it. I'm a little concerned about what it might mean. Do you know anything about this?
Well, it is very possible that this could be part of this ritual. Is it detailed in that book? I'd say for the purpose of this, you know that it's not necessarily written in as like something necessary for the ritual.
I believe that it is not mentioned as far as the ritual goes. It's necromantic, and werewolves are not undead.
It should be noted, however, that I'd forgotten that he called himself Dusk for his werewolf form.
Interesting. Well, there's an obvious correlation there.
Right, he was certainly trying to destroy the people of the stars.
Dusk falls for the stars.
Maybe he really started to like us.
Well, in kind of a morbid
He's-
sense, he did fall.
Falling for our people.
Technically, he did.
Yes. That is interesting. I don't understand it quite fully myself, but there does seem to be two realistic interpretations. One that is, he will cause us to fall, and the other that is, he fell for us. Very rudimentary and bold to claim, but...
Also,
not
the
sure
fact
what
it
to
was
make
written
of
in Abyssal is a little disconcerting.
Yes, that concerns me as well. I don't know if he would have known how to write it,
It makes me wonder how he became a lycanthrope in the first place.
or even just how he got this bone.
Right, maybe he made a compact.
Well, if he is as powerful as you've seemed to have indicated. Yeah, that kind of came out sarcastic.
Powerful.
He's as
If he's as powerful as you say he is.
powerful as he possibly
Not as
imagine.
powerful as his four
I couldn't let it go.
No, I did it, and I was like, ooh.
Aw,
You guys gotta
fucking
remember, I'm not a
mean.
voice actor. I'm just me.
Right, neither are we, man. We just around too.
But
I'm sorry.
Rowan kind of, if he's as powerful as he seemed to indicate, this could be something even created by himself. Again, it seems interesting that it would be related or unrelated to this ritual. Perhaps it is some kind of desecration from the ritual.
Can you keep it safe?
Oh, most certainly so. We are quite capable, Holly and I.
Good. I'd hate to see that get into somebody else's hands.
I think purification rite is probably in the works, although we would likely save it for times in the future when we have a little less on our plate. But I think we can sanctify this relic and bury it, perhaps even with its rightful belonging.
So
Well,
as
if
far as the other werewolves go, the full moon is a requirement for the ritual, correct?
Indeed, yes.
And the next full moon is tomorrow night.
I think it was 2 nights from now, if I remember right.
Right.
You guys were 2 days into your.
Oh yeah, we didn't get
investigation.
there.
So you have
Yeah.
today. You have the whole of today, and then the whole of tomorrow before the full
Right,
moon.
because
If
the
I
sprout
remember
out was
correctly.
the third night.
I think it was the second
Till-
night.
The third night until it. 'Cause
Yes.
we had
Yeah.
2 nights after, yeah.
If I seem to remember, if I'm
Yeah.
recalling that right.
So
Well-
I feel as though the most expedient way to determine whether or not they're going to continue to transform people into werewolves is to kale out the ceremony. Sorry.
Sprout out.
Sprout out.
Sprout out. Excuse me.
Another
Well,
sprout out.
If we can, I would suggest that we still thoroughly search his place even more than we already have for
Sure.
certain
Right.
symbols that we know now to be important, and then potentially clean up the ritual area, see if that has any effect. Alderia, you can shape Earth, correct?
You
I can
read
do a
through my
little bit
spell.
of
Can you?
Even if we destroy the ritual spot, the fact remains that there will be a few werewolves prowling about. If we can
True,
bring them
and I
to us.
do believe we should be vigilant for them, but if we can take some preemptive measures, I think that would be good as well.
Rowan kind of pipes up at this point too. If it is need for combatants, I think we are fairly able to defend ourselves. Picking off vulnerables in the night is unfortunate, but as far as tracking, hunting, and killing individual creatures goes, well, let's just say I think the organization was perhaps the more fearsome part to us.
Sure, so as long as they're not really working together anymore and you're not too concerned about the problem.
So long as there is not someone who can practice this ritual, I think our odds against them fare much brighter.
Right.
It might still be best to call the town meeting and advise everybody to stay inside the night of the full moon and bar the doors.
I think we will do just that.
Not to tell you your place, but it seems a good precaution.
The role of a leader is oftentimes to listen to the younger generations, young Kylar. Your advice is deeply appreciated and will be followed justly.
What specifically do you need me to shape Earth for?
They were using that mud hollow. I was hoping maybe to fill it in and kind of smooth it back out to like just a regular grassy clearing or something.
Right.
I didn't know if that was essential to the ritual, but anything we can do to muck about in their order would be probably to our benefit.
I can probably come up with something.
Can you
I
read
could
us?
maybe flood it or something.
That might help.
Can you read us the ritual, Jesse? What he has written down?
Yeah. Yeah, can
Oh.
you give us like more
So
details
we
on
know
the
best how to
actual like
disrupt it.
mechanics?
Yeah. So essentially the symbol is placed down, traditionally with a bird and an ox on either end of the moon skull. Splattered. The individual who is to be changed is spattered with the blood of the sacrificed creature, and then the sacrificed creature is also placed within this kind of crescent moon shape. A werewolf then bites them somewhere where the blood is splattered, and they're essentially held down until the transformation is complete. Notably, it does depict that some werewolves are not. Depending on the individual being turned, a werewolf kind of tends to either be more rabid or more intelligible, depending on a whole bunch of different factors. I will leave them up to your imagination to understand, because I'm sure there are many reasonable conclusions that logical people can draw, so it's not written explicitly.
Does it detail at all who can perform the ritual and who can't, or?
That it does not.
Okay.
Is it
So
any werewolf that can bite, or does it have to be a born lycanthrope?
It doesn't indicate specifically, it just says a werewolf needs to bite them, so you're guessing And it probably says a lycanthrope, right? But you're getting the idea that so long as someone can organize it and activate the symbols, magic, and perform the rites properly, that it is doable. So the big question might be, is there a follow-up werewolf intelligible enough to do that, perform that action?
You have to have the presence of mind to do that while changed.
Right.
That makes sense.
Which
I
is
think that-
hit or miss.
I think that the only thing that we can really do is wait until tomorrow night and lie in wait and see if the pack decides to try again. Since we can't necessarily destroy the ritual site, it sounds like it could be done pretty much anywhere. They just need to be able to draw in the ground.
Like, yeah, likely they were just using that because it was out of the way. Rowan, trophies like skulls common among your people?
I would say they are not atypical.
It's not a very valid avenue then. You can't just go after anybody who has a bird and an ox skull.
It would be quite the rabbit hole to jump down, I will say.
It also sounds like these two came with him but did not accompany him into town. You can't think of any newcomers to the village around the same time, can you, Rowan?
Nothing occurs to me, which is what is mildly concerning.
So perhaps these individuals don't live in the town. Perhaps they stay in the woods. That's always a possibility as well.
It
My
is possible.
My concern is that they learned the ritual from Kuma and left to start their own packs elsewhere.
That's certainly possible as well. I think that
That
the
is
only
case, we have much to worry about.
right,
This might be larger than we can handle. We can clear out this corner of the world, but we might run into others that have a grudge.
I think perhaps for now our plan of action should be to stake out the ritual site and see if they make a move.
Stake out?
Sprout.
Sprout out. And assume if they do not, I think that it's fair to assume that they are not organized enough. And now that Rowan has full knowledge, he'll be able to better defend his people against it afterwards.
Forewarned is forearmed.
Does this seem agreeable to you, Rowan?
This plan seems highly agreeable.
What about you, Nova, Alderia, Kyla?
Not many other precautions we can take other than rest up for what might be a very busy evening.
I do have
Might
a
be.
question.
It might be a boring evening as well. It'll
I
be
would
an
much
adventure-
prefer a boring evening, truth be told.
an adventure either way.
Question.
Hey, man.
Does it say that, like, it needs to be a full moon, like, on them? Or it can
It
just be
does
a
not
full
indicate.
moon?
It does not indicate directly.
What are you
So,
thinking, Alderia?
I was just wondering if I, like, used daylight on them in the area where they're performing a ritual, if it would interrupt it.
Interesting.
I'll say, are you proficient in religion?
I am.
Go ahead and make me a religion check. I like where you're going with that.
23.
23. You would
Take that
wager.
natural one.
Woof.
I will say it's hard for you to know for certain because you don't know the direct ritual. You've never practiced it before, but you would gather just from general knowledge that this type of thing, something based on a season or a certain state of the universe, especially with your attunement with the stars, that it is very possible that direct contact with some amount of moonlight at the very least is absolutely necessary for this ritual. So if you were able to cut that off, it is very possible that the ritual could fail.
Maybe keep that in your pocket as an emergency.
Yeah.
If we do get confronted with something, it would be useful to save whoever they're trying to turn.
Well, hopefully this is all for naught and we just have a boring sprout out.
Hopefully.
I think we should bring snacks.
Yes.
Sprouts?
I knew you were going to say that.
I can bring plain sprouts or Brussels.
I'll bring my own snacks.
I'll find snacks with Nova.
Shall we double check Kuma's house real quick just to make sure that
That's a good idea.
there's no iconography anywhere that we missed the first time around?
Comb the place thoroughly.
I can't not think of Spaceballs when somebody says that.
I was gonna say comb the desert, but it didn't make sense.
Man, we ain't found shit.
Man, we ain't found shit.
With the pick. I forgot about that.
You guys returned to
helmet.
Kuma's. You guys returned to Kuma's abode and go to look around. What would you like to do?
Just completely tear the place apart. If it takes hours, taking hours. I don't care how long it takes. Gonna find any last trace of this crap that he might have.
Okay.
Could
You
I
guys-
look for secret doors?
Secret doors. Okay.
Secret tunnel.
Two lovers.
Two werewolves beholden to one another. A ritual divides their people. Anyways.
Forget how the rest of the song goes, but anyway.
How do you know that much of that song?
I looked it up and it is one lyric long. No, it is one verse long and 2 words in addition to that verse. So it's really not hard to memorize.
Secret tunnel.
Anyways, you guys tear the place apart. I'll say one person can go ahead and roll me an investigation check with advantage. With the exception of Nova. Nova, you can roll your own because you're trying to do something in particular.
Do I get advantage?
Yeah, one.
If someone wants to help you, I'll give you advantage.
I'll help you.
I'll cast
I'm
guidance.
like knocking on the walls.
I'm going to put my hand on Nova's shoulder and cast guidance.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll take a roll with advantage from each of you for investigation. Nova, you can add a d4 for guidance.
Who else is investigating?
Kylar.
Ah, okay.
I am. I have
That's
a
what
plus
I thought. I thought that's what you were saying.
If anybody's more attentive than me, maybe they should.
I've got myself a -1,
No-
so
Nova, do you need a wheel?
I already rolled it, so I don't know if I can take it.
You can roll it. You can take it.
I think you just have to do it before you know if you pass or
Before
fail.
you
Oh.
yeah, it's so you can even say like I got a 19. I could be like, oh, that's not very good. Have a wheel.
Fun
That's
fact.
not very good.
Fun fact, I got a 19 -2, so I got 17.
That is the animals we are dealing with. Just
Maybe
in case
grab
any
it.
of the viewers out there need to know.
do you add the D4?
That's not.
I did add the D4.
Okay.
Do you want a D6?
Yeah, better. This might be a hard one. So I get to add back the 2 that I lose, so 19.
Hey!
Thank you.
And then Kylar, are you investigating?
What's your
no, but-
investigation? 1? Yeah, that's what mine is too.
Okay, yeah, then I'll just do it. I got a 15.
15. We'll start with Kylar because yours is the simplest. You
Nothing.
find, in particular, one interestingly metal dagger. It seems to be made of a small serpentine kind of curling blade back and forth.
Chris?
Probably about that long. Some kind of Chris, yeah, seems to be. And as well as a ram skull that seems to be hanging on the wall before an innocuous kind of omen now seems to be clearly probably part of the ritual that he used.
Interesting.
Oh, ram.
Pocket the dagger for later inspection, but I'll point out the ram skull and to the
I
other
should
two.
clarify. Ox skull, not
Ox
ram.
skull. I was about to say I thought it was an
My bad.
ox, but I wasn't
Yep.
gonna question it.
Nope,
Um,
definitely not a ram. Sorry.
now
I'll
that
be right.
we're more familiar, he does have an ox skull. We should dispose of that properly.
Is it like on the wall?
Yep, seems to be hung up on a kind of wood peg.
After he says that, like as I'm going down like by the walls, I'm just gonna punch it.
Go ahead and roll me an athletics check.
I was imagining the Warhammer.
Yeah, I was imagining you taking out the maul and just.
No, I do have an unarmed strike as an attack. I don't know if that changes what I roll.
Just roll an athletics.
Oh, it's the same modifier. Never mind.
Cool. There you go.
Well, of course, yeah, strength.
This is more of a skill check than it is like damage the siege wall and break through kind of thing.
Ooh, 16.
16, yeah, you easily enough just evaporates
No,
into shards.
Okay.
And kind of
Is that not what we wanted?
I guess it works.
Your
I
hand is
won't
a
question it.
little bloody, but
I'll just. Did he lose any hit points from that, or?
no,
Okay.
Metaphorically bloody.
Now there's like little red spots wherever I'm knocking.
I'll just toss him a bandage quick. Just
Like-
your knuckles.
A paper cut for me is taking damage. A paper cut for Nova, yeah, he's fine.
It's healing.
It's healing for Nova, yeah.
I'm Nova, not Knuckles.
No, it's for your knuckles. The rag I tossed you. You're bleeding.
Thanks.
Nova, with your investigation, thorough as hell, Alderia and Urzan kind of guiding you along the way. You knock wall to wall to wall, floorboard to floorboard, and you find jack shit. Sadly, this is a mud hut. Not too much going on. You do hear the hollowness of the floorboards underneath you. You're guessing there's some kind of stilting that the house was put on to help it from eroding on the hillscape of this village. But nothing you would not come to expect. A few times you get excited because the floorboard creaks, but you realize it's just a loose nail here and there.
Could I just like pull a board up and peek? Obviously, I'm gonna break it when I do that, but
Yeah, you do. You snap a board, kind of splinters still hanging on, just kind of limply sitting there. You see the dark undercroft of seems to be some kind, not like a basement level, but like a third or quarter of a level where this is kind of hovering over. Looking down in there, I presume.
Mhm.
You hear skittering of small creatures. Kind of
Ew.
underneath. Probably you're guessing some mice. Smells pretty foul down there, but nothing like dark evil rituals in the swamp. Foul, just kind of poopy. Seems to be a mundane hut. Otherwise, just you're guessing this individual probably focused most of their attention elsewhere.
Hello.
You see kind of glowing eyes peer out from the darkness, just two tiny little specks.
Did you find anything, Nova?
I think I made a friend.
What sort of friend?
Can I put little crumbs, try to get him to come out?
Jesus.
Go ahead and roll
Everybody.
me an animal handling check.
Only -1. That's good for me.
While he's putzing around with his friend, can I take a look at my knife?
Chris?
He's gonna start inspecting it while he's like knocking on floorboards and walls.
Sure. The Chris, as far as you can tell, is mundane.
Okay.
After doing a brief analysis of it, it seems again probably ceremonial to some extent.
Are there any markings or engravings?
No markings that would particularly identify this Chris to you. You see, the handle is form gripped with a black leather,
Okay.
probably to this individual's hand, so probably given to him by someone, with a pretty basic kind of dark gray / black iron pommel guard, and then a similar, slightly less dark colored Chris curving dagger with a small indent in the middle. Again, seems to be made for this individual. Interpret that how you will. But it does not seem to be holding any magical properties or have any iconography on it.
Interesting.
Is
And
it
then
bloody?
Nova. What was your animal handling check?
A non-natural 1.
Oh, a modified
one,
one.
baby.
A modified
Mod
1. I rolled a 2.
So you drop some crumbs down in the. You hear kind of. You see more eyes pop up, and eventually you see just, I mean, little mice, but there's like a 12 or 13 of them just
Oh god.
pop out into the floorboards and kind of. Do you leave your hand down there, or?
No, I was just sprinkling it near the hole.
Yeah, you sprinkle it. You see just a small mound of mouse,
Uh.
kind of infesty looking, chewing on this stuff, making a very large racket and being kind of gross. Not I
All I
like
can think
mice,
of is
but
Dishonored.
Hmm. Push him back in and try to put the board back.
they're still on the dirt floor.
Oh, okay.
Like I presume you kind of dropped it into the hole, right? So that they would.
Well, I was trying to get him to come out, so I probably.
Oh, did you drop it on the floor? Yeah,
Yeah.
you can push him back into the hole. See what happens.
Nova.
Okay. Does a natural 20 hit your armor class?
Yeah.
Okay, you see the small swarm of rats kind of resisting as you kind of shovel them back in with your foot. That's cocked. Okay, that's not too bad. You take 5 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
This is what happened when I tried to hang out with a mouse.
Did you
I got
incorporate?
diseased.
Did you incorporate the crit, Jess?
Oh, excuse me.
Oh shit.
10 points of piercing damage.
Oh,
You forgot to
no.
assign homework, teacher.
Dang it!
Good DM. .tm.
25 on that con save.
25 on the con save. You feel kind of a nasty, rancid mouse that live under the floorboards. Infectious kind of cut as the scrapes are left on your hands and feet, but you resist the effect. You shovel them kind of back in and kind of.
I like to think all this is happening where like his large back is like blocking what's going on, so they just hear me cussing and fucking around with stuff. Oh, fuck! Oh, you shit!
Nova, what
Have you
are you
ever
doing?
seen the horror movies where it's like the giant adult man playing with dolls like in front of them? That's kind of the vibe you guys are getting here. You don't see anything going on except for Nova going, "Wow, fuck."
What are you doing?
Nothing. Just trying to fix it.
Eventually you right it, and the mice are dispersed. Plenty of feared of your knuckles.
Put the board back. Sit on it.
What did you do?
I fixed it.
What did you do?
There's mice. I thought I might have made a new friend, but they bit me.
Let me see. How bad does it look?
That is the most fucked up pointer finger you've ever fucking seen outside of a pure, just straight up snap.
God,
Looks like a zombie
Nova.
finger.
I wave my hand at him and I cast Healing Word.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the dice.
Okay.
Are there any heals any words of healing you'd like to tell Nova?
No, just when I say "Gods, Nova," that was the word. You get 9 points of healing.
Yay!
There you go. Alrighty. And with that, you are mostly healed back up. What would you all like to do? The initiative now being over. What would you all like to do?
Oh, I need a break after that.
Yeah.
Long
I say
rest.
we
time.
relax. I say we relax tonight and prepare for tomorrow.
Prepare for tomorrow.
Right.
Get some snacks
Sprouts.
for you.
Oh, don't worry, I'll bring enough for everyone.
Yeah, great.
You all continue on
Seconded.
to rest for the evening, collecting sprouts of Brussels and other kinds. that I do not know the names of because I am.
I mean, there's like sprouts that you can get on a sub. You know, like the
Yeah, Jimmy
stringy
John's.
things.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, like the little
bean
sprouts.
sprouts.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, some of
bean
those too, because they
sprouts.
make a great little snack.
Gotta be
Bean and
careful. They give
Brussels.
you E. coli.
E. coli. You wash them up good. They know
Yeah.
what they're doing around here. But you guys relax for the evening. Eventually, the day of the night that is supposed to happen comes. Yes, Erzan.
For the evening, the night prior, I would like to more or less sequester myself in my room and work on my create dagger spell.
The upcast version, I take it.
Yeah, like trying to develop it.
Okay. Does anyone else want to make skill checks? I'll let. This has been a few nights now, so I'll go ahead and let you guys make rolls if you want.
Sure, I'll play with
Swapping
lockpicking.
spells.
Okay, you guys each need one more. Alderia, I think.
I am
Everybody.
proficient.
Oh, you made it all the way to proficiency,
Yeah.
right?
I was
I'll give
one
you a
away.
I'll give you a little star. Yeah, you and Erzan should each be one away.
Oh, you got stars?
Star.
Stickers?
That was in.
If I get enough stars, can I have a Jolly Rancher?
It's a religion check for me, Jess, or is it still a
Oh,
You can. I will let you choose between religion and arcana.
Okay, I'll roll religion. And I rolled a 1.
Ooh.
Failure.
With that, Erzan, you get to where that was a natural one.
Yeah.
Ooh, buddy. You get to the point where your spell, it feels like you've almost got it developed, and the magic just collapses in on itself, damaging yourself in the process. But for the sake of this, you get the long rest afterwards, so we won't go through the nuance of it. You feel like your progress, you're gonna have to. The magic you're using is too unstable. You're gonna have to try something else. So, sorry, homie.
Can't win them all.
Can't win them all. Further though, you do have more experience with it now, so the DC will be lower, and perhaps the number of successes you need won't be as difficult. Right. So, and Kyler,
I, on the other hand, rolled an 18.
18 is a success, just
Hoping
barely,
that's enough.
but you got it. With that, you do become proficient in lockpicking.
Woo! And my whole proficiency bonus.
Got your whole proficiency bonus for any lockpick checks you want to make.
Something about that voice, I don't know, man.
Oh, the whole proficiency bonus.
So with that, you guys can go into the next day. Is there anything you want to do as you prepare for your sprout out?
I'm swapping
Get
spells.
snacks.
Okay. What to?
I'm adding daylight. I'm swapping in daylight. I
Sounds
don't know
good.
which one I just unclicked. I clicked one of them.
Sounds good.
Nova and I are
I think
gonna
I
find
got
out-
rid of call animals or something.
Okay, gotcha.
Are there vegetarians here, or is that just something I made up in my brain?
I think
There-
you made it up, but I like it.
There are numerous vegetarians here. Some people don't do partake in meat though.
We should find some dried meat snacks. Maybe some Jolly Ranchers. I'm just kidding.
I hope they have watermelon.
I'm not eating the yellow ones, though. Those are gross.
We all knew blue raspberry was the best.
Green or like
apple?
yeah, bruh.
I'm
Ew,
ending
apple
the
flavored
campaign.
stuff is disgusting.
It's
Apples,
not real apple.
apples being gross. Okay.
Except for those apple caramel lollipops. Those are bomb.
Okay. Those are delicious.
You guys, for the sake of brevity, you guys do collect snacks.
No, I would like to roleplay this. Next.
I want to get some beef and I want to get some nuts.
You get
I would
some.
like to roleplay picking every single sprout.
You pick every sprout.
That's
The world ends.
Oh, this is a
Yeah,
nice
hey,
one.
Forested
folds
the
into a
entire world.
Origami pigeon.
This one.
kidding.
I don't like that one.
Oh, that one has
Ooh.
mold on it.
You're going to Nova.
You get
With
the
utmost
mold.
care, you pick the best sprouts. Eventually,
Most
night does start showing its ugly face as dusk approaches. What would you all like to do?
Shall we go?
Could we have gone there sooner?
Yeah, I would have. I wouldn't want to go there like late
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Try to get out there and hide in a bush or up a tree or something. I guess I don't know what you guys are. I'm not climbing a tree.
I was thinking a tree personally.
But
don't wanna be on the
I
ground.
don't know that there's trees. Well, there might be trees big enough, but
There's probably trees big enough. It's a
oh,
whole
big-
forest.
big stuff falls hard, man. I don't
We
really
can
want
stay
to.
on the ground, Nova. That's all right. I'm wearing
Yeah.
chainmail. I don't really want to
Oh
climb
my
a tree.
god, that'd be so hard.
We're gonna go not climb a tree, even though I have -1.
So you would like to climb up a tree, Kyler?
Yeah,
What time
not
are we
climbing
doing this? Like late afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me an athletics check, Kyler, as you attempt to scale this tree. It's not going to be a super hard DC since you are not like in the moment having to climb up this.
Well, I'd give him a boost too.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I got a 19, so an 18.
18. Yeah. Easily enough, you find a pretty suitable tree, with Nova kind of being
No,
booster seat.
I think-
Quit touching my butt.
I think that's birth control. The Nuva ring? I don't.
it is.
Listen, man, I didn't name your character after birth control, okay?
I didn't either.
I'm gonna
On
slip in a tree and go,
purpose.
wizard blade!
I'm going up a tree too.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check. Again, fairly easy. Nova probably hoisting you part of the way up.
Nice 7.
C'est bon. Yeah, I'll say for the purpose of this, it's ugly, but you get up eventually and climb the tree.
So I see her struggling. I just kind of push her.
Yeah, Nova could probably just like one-handed put me up there.
The Nova elevator. There you go.
And you all wait for the evening and have your sprout out.
Yeah, I'd probably.
Any good bushes?
Yep.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check. I don't fucking know. You tell me. Are there any good bushes?
As I'm sitting up in the tree eating some snacks, I
Nine.
start throwing nuts at Nova's head. Just one every couple minutes.
Nova, your head's too thick. You don't feel them. Just kind of falls off. Kyler, your prank sadly going awry.
I'm
But then
gonna pass out.
but then
I'm
I
gonna
fa-
pass out some sprouts.
But then I find treats on the ground. Ooh.
Ooh, ground nut.
Ground.
He who peanut.
Yeah!
Finally.
It's full circle now.
So you guys do eventually snack up. Have some ground nut,
Have some bug snacks.
some
Sprouts.
bug snacks, some sprout snacks.
Did we find a good bush though? A
Go
nice
ahead and-
thick bush.
You found a splendid bush. If you would like to try and hide within it, you may roll a bush check.
I would love to.
Go ahead and roll. You may as well.
Is this a stealth check?
Yes.
Heck is the bush.
If you are wearing heavy armor, it is at disadvantage. Keep in mind.
What
I
my
hate
first
that
one was
this
a
is
natural
happening.
20. Oh, that's not bad. Not a mod 20 for my stealth check.
Not bad
Bad.
overall. Wow. Okay.
And
And
we have to
Nova.
roll stealth checks like hiding in the trees as well.
Yeah.
Kinda
Go
like
ahead and give me a
branches
stealth
and
check.
stuff.
Slight DC alteration. Natural one.
Natural one this time.
Wow. I think that's like
Same.
exactly what you needed to roll because these guys rolled like shit.
It's like my ass is just sticking out.
Your tail's just sticking out of the bush.
like wagging it. My shiny silver
And then
tail.
Alderia and Kyler.
Natural one
Bruh.
for a 3.
Man, I should have.
I'm so
Can
stealthy
we go back in
today.
time and I can cast Pass Without a Trace? I didn't realize stealth checks were happening.
I didn't either,
will,
but
I
We
will
only
We have to
say,
be within 30
minutes
feet
and
of
we're
each
doing a
other, though,
stakeout,
right?
though.
yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna be in that vicinity.
So here's the thing. If you want to,
Start
you
it up
can,
then.
but there was 2 natural ones rolled, so I would
Yeah.
encourage you to consider that.
Don't burn the spell slot,
Typically,
it's
as
not
well,
worth it.
you're right. I should have advertised that there's more stealth going on here. But also, typically after rolls are made, I don't want to encourage people to like, oh wait, like I do this. So,
That's fair.
so I will say,
and
outside of the natural ones, I would have this time around, but for future ones, I'll try and advertise it better so that you guys can make more informed decisions.
the dice are telling a story. Let it tell it.
To be fair, this is also a stakeout, and Pass Without a Trace lasts
Right
for 10 minutes, so
I think it's an hour, but still.
yeah.
You got a
But,
lot of
like-
you got a lot of
It's an hour.
sprouts with steak. Let's put it that way.
But like we're doing it for a prolonged period of time.
Extended period, yeah.
I
You need
will
to keep
say,
it at
as a point of
those.
order, there's a lot of stuff that we could try and get to tonight. So if you guys want to skip the break, since we're stopping at 9:30, we can. Otherwise, this would probably be a good time for a break.
I don't mind pushing through, but that's just me.
I don't care either way.
I'll have to get up and pee at some point, but that's okay.
Yeah, I
Y'all
mean,
wanna
if
skip
we get to combat, you can just go when it's not your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You're muted.
Thank you. If you guys just want to carry on, I just need 5 minutes. I just need to find my vape juice. That's all,
that's
and I'll be right
We
back.
can take a fiver.
Quick
We'll
break
take a
then.
short fiver. Just
Okay.
a short fiver.
Yeah,
sure.
It's in my room here somewhere.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll be back by 7:56 Central Standard Time.
Love you. Bye bye.
See you guys when we come back. Alrighty. Welcome back, everybody. Just to recap, the party is now stalking outside of the, or should I say, sprouting outside of the, just outside of this circle where supposedly this ritual to lycanthropify. I like to try and make up words when I play D&D.
It's a word now.
Create lycanthropes. They are kind of hanging outside the circle, waiting to spring a trap or perhaps see if any creatures show up at the height of the full moon. With that, can everyone please roll me perception checks?
Oh boy.
Indeed.
Wow.
By Jove.
Average modifier and got the most average roll.
That's okay. I think
Perception?
Yeah.
I rolled a 9.
Same.
22.
10 plus 0, so 10.
Everyone beating the DCs set by these creatures by at least one.
What the fuck?
Wow.
I know.
Okay. Huh.
You all see these, you see two werewolves walking. You see, first you hear kind of the brush snapping of twigs as large creatures, predictably, you're guessing lycanthropic beings. You see the silhouettes first of two large, hairy werewolf creatures. Do you smell that? I think I smell nuts of some kind.
Yes.
As he says that,
Higher pitched one gets onto the ground.
I'm gonna stand up out of the bush and twin cast hold person.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Fair enough.
Should we
That was
roll
a surprise
initiative?
round. Shit.
I will say, since they both rolled natural 1 perceptions, and then you guys destroyed their natural 1 and their 3 stealth checks, you can go ahead and have that action, but they will be unsurprised after that.
Okay.
So everyone, please roll. Start with a initiative.
I guess if he's standing up, I'll stand up too.
Sounds good.
Just so I'm not
I'm sitting in a
prone.
tree.
Yeah. I would say you were crouching, anyways. I don't imagine you were like that.
It's Nova, man. I don't...
You had a natural 1
No.
stealth, but that just sounds like sleeping to me.
Hold people is spell save 16
I smell
wisdom checks.
Sounds good.
Man flesh.
nut flesh.
Okay.
Excuse me?
That's
Sprout
the
flesh.
flesh of the nut.
Scrotum.
Flesh.
I mean, if you're gonna take it there, sure.
I didn't take it there. I didn't even think
You know
of
what? I'm
that.
gonna roll That too. Okay.
I knew exactly
guys.
where Luke's brain was going.
Quick question for you though.
Hmm.
What's a part of your body where you shouldn't stick your finger?
Your eye?
Good
Your
choice.
ear?
Ooh.
Urethra.
What's the first thing?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
All right. Can I take initiatives above 20?
20.
20.
That's not technically above 20. I can't follow directions.
20 for you as well, Kyler.
Yeah.
What
My
are you
dex
guys?
is a 14.
Alderia. What's your dex?
13.
13. Okay. I have a feeling I know how this fight is gonna go.
You don't
especially
know.
considering their saves. Well, I rolled the first 2 rounds worth of saves. I'll just put it that way.
Oof.
15 to 20.
Uh-oh.
10 to 15. 5 to 10.
9.
6, baby.
Spellcasters go first, and the fighters following up.
I was so worried because I rolled. So I have +2. I rolled a 7, and it looked like a 1 at first. Are you kidding me?
At the top of the order, Kylar, you see Erzan fire off his hold person. I think I smell pecan.
Pecan?
You see 2 creatures, 2 large werewolf creatures, not recognizable from the encounter the other day, interestingly. You see them kind of freeze up as Erzan casts holy magic. You see 2 kind of arcs of light, almost embolden these creatures' outlines. What would you like to do?
How far away am I?
Probably 45 feet.
45 feet, you say. God, I'm never first. I always have time to think out my plans.
Yep.
Let's just give the one that said pecans a chaos bolt.
All right. Go ahead and roll to hit, I believe.
Yeah. I rolled an 18 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Oh, all right. I've never had that happen. I rolled 2 3s, so
Okay.
it's fire damage.
Okay.
And if you roll the same number on both die 8, the chaotic energy leaps from that target to a different target, and I get to attack that one.
Okay.
It just
Go ahead
is
and
a
roll to
separate
hit.
attack. 21.
21 hits. Go ahead and roll some damage.
11 points of damage, and
Oh,
it's
you know.
gonna be.
They are paralyzed, so this is critical.
It's gonna be lightning damage.
Okay. 2 significant chunks taken out of both of these creatures. Kind of frozen in this hold person position. Is that your turn, Kyler?
Is that actually? Yep, that's my turn.
All right, Alderia, it's your turn. And just as a point of order, these ones will be at advantage. It was my mistake with Kyler. He hit anyways, and they're crits because hold person does that. So.
Are they in like werewolf form?
They are. And they're probably
Not for long.
about 15 foot apart from one another, I would say.
How late is it now?
It is, by the time this occurs, it's deep into the night, probably about 1:30 in the morning. The
Okay.
full moon has
Alright.
been showing itself for a solid hour 15 minutes.
How wide across is this clearing?
The clearing itself is probably about 30 feet across.
Oh.
They're kind of
Alright.
just foraging into it, and then your height kind of makes it about a 45-foot distance from you to them.
I'm going to, on the center of the clearing, center daylight
Okay.
and cast daylight.
Alrighty.
So it's a 60-foot radius sphere
Sphere of just daylight,
of
straight up
daylight.
daylight. Okay. Notably, as you cast the spell, you see the creatures. They furrow their brows, but they don't seem to revert in form. So whatever is keeping these 2 individuals lycanthropic, you're thinking it's possible that it might not be the moon for them. Just as a point of order. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
Nope. I
Okay.
don't think so.
That brings us to the first one. The first one fails his save. And ends its turn. That brings us to Nova.
Well, I'm gonna run on up to summoning my Deep Warden's Malice as I'm en route, and they're both gonna get a bop.
Go ahead and bop.
Bop, bop, bop. Both at advantage?
Yep.
Let's get it.
Are you hitting the one that spoke earlier or the one that was silent?
Both of them in no particular order.
Oh, one of each. Okay.
I guess are they close enough for me to reach both? Well, I have a.
Yeah, they're about 15 foot apart. You have a 30-foot movement speed, I'd say.
I think I have 10 feet
They're
of
across
reach.
the clearing from you.
Do I have reach
Get 10
with
feet
the?
your glaive.
Oh, the glaive.
I would say you'd have to probably pick one.
Yeah, let's go closest one first.
Okay, that'd probably be the one that spoke.
Okay.
He was kind of peeling out into the clearing to go sniffing.
Shoot, yeah, what do I want to... Yeah, I'll still hit him twice.
Okay, sounds good.
Natural 20. So crit it anyway.
Crit.
I rolled a 19 and a 20.
Sure. Okay.
Another natural 20. I'm fucking wasting these.
All right, go ahead and roll me 2d10. Just tell me the two numbers you get. Actually, make it 2d4. 2d4. Sorry, I had to think about that.
A 2 and a 4.
2 and a 4. Okay. You strike into this creature. Roll your damage now. And remember, the dice are doubled. And also, yes, there is a reason I did not turn off the relaxing music for this combat.
40 bludgeoning damage.
Oh my god.
And I need two strength saving. Or I guess he just failed.
No,
Automatically failed.
You don't need 2 strength saving throws because you evaporate most of this creature's body with the second swing. The first swing, you crash into the torso of the creature, and with the 2, you snap its right hip, and just like its leg on the second hit just flies off of the torso, stuck in the mud. Also, just eviscerating the arm. You see the body of this creature just go limp and slide through the mud, without a single recourse.
Mostly surprised with myself. I'm going to kind of spin them all a little bit, point it at the other one, and tell him, you're up next unless you got some good information for us. I'm totally unaware that he can't talk.
Yeah.
That's my turn.
That is going to bring us to Erzan. You see Nova evaporate a werewolf. Limbs flying into the air, kind of Halloweenish against the full moon. That is now covered in daylight.
Okay.
Notably, once this creature dies, too, it reverts to a human form. So
it's more gross now.
I'm going to use thaumaturgy to amplify my voice, to be scary.
Okay.
Also kind of leaning on Nova's scariness from just murderizing the one. And say... Did you come here to complete the ritual? And I'll drop Hold Person.
Go and roll me a performance check. Or a persuasion. Or intimidation. You pick and justify your answer.
We'll do persuasion, just based off of Nova melting his friend and my thaumaturgy.
Probably
Probably be more of an
That's-
intimidation check from what I'm hearing.
Okay, that's fine too.
Okay.
I rolled a 19.
A 19. Releasing the hold person. Where's Dusk?
Dead.
Can't be much of a ritual without Dusk, I suppose.
Are we still in turn order?
Depends on what you guys are gonna do, I guess.
I'm just holding. If he's going to try to run, I want to hit him and try to pin him to the ground.
Sure.
That's all.
Currently, he's far away from you, so I'll say that was his turn to respond, and Erzan's turn. He's holding an action. Kylar kind of ends. Suppose there's no ritual without Dusk.
I'm going to Misty Step from up in my tree down onto the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to try and intimidate him. I'm going to hold a crackling ray of frost in my hand and say, "You're sure about that? No ritual without Dusk, huh?"
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a performance check or intimidation.
Intimidation. That is 21.
Okay, noted. Alberia?
I'm going to try to cast Dispel Magic on him.
Let me pull up my monster manual for that.
I don't know if that's a magical thing or if it's just a natural thing. I don't really know.
It's a good ass question.
Yeah, I don't know where the line of magical and supernatural is in
Yeah.
5e. Or is it supernatural? What was
Because if
Yeah.
someone's turned into a creature, is that
I think it becomes part of them and then it becomes supernatural.
Yeah, I would say you would probably
Or
know
is
this as
it-
someone who has Dispel Magic as well. Dispel Magic is typically on like an enchanted effect.
okay?
This is more of a, you would guess with your druidic side of things, this is more of a inherent part of, not natural so to speak in the way that you would appreciate, but natural to their anatomy.
Yeah. Okay.
So probably not something that you could straight up dispel. And you're also guessing, based on this daylight not taking effect, whatever kind of lycanthrope this is not one that you would read about in like the storybooks. The storybook would tell you at the height of the full moon, one loses their mind, right? And those kinds of
Yeah.
things. Very typical, prototypical werewolf stories that you've heard. This one seems to be able to resist and have some form of sentience even during this form of itself. So you're guessing there's something maybe more than meets the eye as compared to, like, say, a feral werewolf here.
Right. Alright. Since he is no longer being held,
Mm-hmm.
because he's not paralyzed anymore.
Right.
I'm gonna use Entangle on him then to keep him from moving.
Okay. What's the effect?
He needs to make a saving throw, strength saving throw, and then
Okay.
he would be restrained.
What's that's a 20. Sorry, that's a 21.
Oh, that's
Strength
not
save.
great.
But
Make a woman's combat.
what is the fail? Or the
Django Wooing Tongue?
The save, is that what you said?
he did save.
Yeah.
Is there
Okay.
any other effects?
Yeah. The 20-foot square has vines and weeds that make it difficult terrain for a minute.
Okay, sounds good.
And
And you're choosing an area just around him, I'm presuming.
yes.
Okay. That brings us to the creature's turn. Looking kind of back between specifically Erzan, now looking at his feet, looking at Eldaria, and Kylar and Nova too with the threat.
Yes. I said the ritual can't be complete without dusk anyways.
Steps back a little bit. Not like running, but kind of navigating backwards slowly. As if to start backing away from you guys. I will say for now, we'll drop out of initiative order until someone makes an aggressive move.
Well, I'm not gonna let him. I'm not gonna let
my
him.
turn.
Huh?
Can I have my turn?
I'll get my turn first, bitch.
Oh, sure.
Just kidding. I'm sorry. All I want to. I'm not gonna let him get that far away from me.
I mean, he's already 30 feet away from you, so unless you want to move up to him. You killed the first one.
Oh, they were that far apart?
Probably like 15 feet. 15 feet, sorry. So you'd have to enter into the brush.
Oh,
the brush. The entanglement that Eldaria.
How wide is the entanglement?
About 20 feet.
20-foot square.
Can I kind of skirt it to try and like meet him at the end of it?
Sure, yeah. You can kind of go
I'll do
around. I'd say it'd take most of your turn to get over there, but you can position yourself kind of behind the square.
And he only moves at like half speed, right? Because he's in.
Yeah. He's not even really like moving. He'd probably move like
Just kinda
5 feet
like-
back during his turn.
Moonwalking.
Just kind of,
If we're not
a
in
creature that's cornered.
if we're not in order, then just as he does that, I'd be like, stay where you are, or you're gonna get blasted.
It seems I'm going to be blasted anyways.
Nah, man, just stay cool.
My claims.
You've attacked
going
these
to-
people.
I'm going to look at him, and my thaumaturgy is still up because it lasts for a minute. And in a big booming Gandalf voice, I'm going to say, "Revert," and cast command.
That's pretty cool.
I like that.
That's gonna be a 7.
Bilbo Baggins!
I mean,
Full of
either
a
way, it's
troop.
so.
What just happened?
You see the
Why did I
creature
hear Bilbo Baggins play?
Because he said Gamble. Gamble voice.
Gamble.
In a Gandalf voice.
Gandalf.
Gandalf.
You see the creature revert into a human form, a young brown-haired elven man with kind of piercing but brown eyes, dark against the would have been dark against the moonlight, now bright and shiny from the daylight. What do you want?
Is he nude?
Yes.
Gross.
Perfectly censored, but naked as fuck.
I say to him in Elvish, why were you attacking the druidic people here?
I was waiting for you to say nice ass or something.
Teeny tiny Christmas hand ass.
Hey, nice cock.
Do I recognize this
provided
guy?
me no tactical advantage whatsoever. Anybody? No? Okay. What was that? Eldaria / Erinn?
Do I know him?
You do not recognize him at all. And in Elvish back to you, Kyler. Dusk. He said it would make the people stronger, give them powers like us.
Was he your alpha?
Yes, he led the rituals. I was truthful. You see him straying again now as the command drops its effect, I believe, as it's not concentration, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah, he eventually, after a few rounds of remaining human form, you see the bulbous forming of werewolf parts come back again.
I would stop that if I were you.
Oh, if I could.
Nova, now.
What?
I'm holding a spell, like pointing at him. Like,
Oh,
Nova,
like-
now.
Am I
As
close
he's, like,
enough?
changing back.
Am I close enough to give him a whack?
Sure, I'll say for the sake of brevity, you guys wax this guy. He's pretty low health already, anyways, from the one.
Oh no, I don't want to kill him. I just want to pin him
You
to the
don't wanna
ground. No, I just
Yeah,
want to
you're
pin
just
him.
gonna try and
We don't need to murk him.
Okay, I mean, you guys, you're
It's fucking
welcome
mercy.
to. To pin him down? Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not pinning him to the ground. I'm gonna leave him there until tomorrow when he's not a wolf, and we're taking him to town, baby.
Fair enough. Okay, go ahead and roll the hit then.
Oh fuck.
Nah.
Oh god, Jambus.
As I say that, can I cast Bane on him?
Sure. Yeah.
16 charisma save.
That is a fail.
Save.
Charisma saves are picks for everyone. Nobody passes the charisma save.
I got a 15 to hit him, and
15 hits.
okay, good.
He has to roll his strength save with negative
Oh,
that much. Okay. Total
10.
damage.
10 bludgeoning.
Okay. And then the strength save DC?
Please don't.
13, I think.
13. That is, yeah, it should be 13. It should be bumped up by 1 from the.
Oh yeah, that's what it says.
That is just a failure. It rolled a 12 after all negatives included.
Cool. So I'm gonna let it hit him. Hit him. Take him to the ground.
Turning back into its werewolf form.
Release me.
Pulling against the mace
No.
bars.
I
Just
come
You
up
feel
to
the
him.
creature buck like
Oh.
a fish
Over his head.
against.
No.
I come up with Nova and I said, "No, you're gonna pay for your crimes. Is what you're going to do."
Spitting out blood on you, on your shoe, kind of, as it struggles against the mace. You feel, Nova, you're standing with like your bare strength over it. This creature, despite the weight and your weight pressing down against it, is
Mhm.
bucking against the hammer, the mace. You're having to like actively restrain it for the next. Well, how long do you do this for?
I figured we just keep him alive and take him to jail. But I guess if it's becoming to be a bit much, I'd probably keep one hand on it, call the glaive, and like try to like put it at like his neck. Like, don't you fucking move.
You call the glaive to it?
Yeah.
Okay. The creature. Well, let's see how smart this creature is.
I suppose he's kind of a puppy dog.
Creature looks up and down the glaive, presses its neck kind of into it.
What the fuck?
Starts struggling again. As you feel the glaive doesn't seem to press into its flesh at all.
Right, now I
I
remember.
take out the Chris that I had gotten and I put that to his neck.
This creature, you're gathering this creature can tell mundane objects apart.
Okay, I didn't know
And
it was
seems
silver.
to be-
enough.
Good.
Seems to be unfearful.
Good, because I can't.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know
I
the
just
Chris was
thought-
silver, so I was gonna.
Yeah,
try.
no, you're guessing this is more of a dark steel. It would be very atypical for a creature to keep its own Achilles heel on it, and this is
Use
more
it
for
on
the
its
ritual
back mates
itself.
if they get uppity.
Sure, perhaps. But that was not the case in this
Unfortunately,
time around. The creature is bucking hard. I'm gonna say, Nova, the first hour passes and this thing just has been flopping like a fish on the deck. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw as you try to maintain your disposition over this creature. Seemingly endless wells of endurance coming from it to just thrash.
Before we get to an hour, can we chat for a moment?
You can
Yeah.
certainly try to talk to him. Yeah.
So
is it worth keeping him alive?
I don't know how long I'll be able to keep him here.
All right, we'll get to
Normally-
that roll after a minute here. What
Mhm.
would you guys like to do in the downtime?
normally I'd advocate for turning this individual over to the town jail or whatever, but it appears as though it can't control its shape-shifting, so it's going to, if we let it live in any capacity, either someone else is going to kill it or it's going to kill people. Tyr demands an eye for an eye. I think that we ought to just put this poor dog out of its misery.
We might be able to get more information out of it, though.
I don't think it has any more information to tell.
Yeah, I don't think he's
With it.
talking right now.
Yeah, you just hear kind of, and Nova is like jackhammer shaking.
Like
Uh,
it's given up on trying to make intelligible werewolf sounds.
Well, you've pinned it to the ground with a giant mace and then pressed blades against its throat. So
Yeah.
unless you want to try and reapproach it, it seems to currently be in fight or flight mode. as you
We
have
don't know
stated
where
your
the-
intentions with it. So
We don't know where the other 4 villagers are, and he might.
I reckon if they were with it, like, he might. We can ask him. But
I don't really have any means of persuasion other than brute force.
How long does your hold person thing last for?
well, that only lasts for a minute, but he won't be able to
Fuck.
speak during that time. Okay, I'll go over and command him to revert again, I suppose.
okay. You're guessing the reversion he can still maintain personality if they refuse to talk, and it would only last for that 6 seconds. So it's up to you. I'm not saying don't use it. I'm just saying it might have that limited use again. Seems that something about the situation allows him to revert.
Yeah.
Nova,
he has
can you hold for a
He has
minute?
no control over his transformations.
I'm reading Deep Warden's Malice right now.
Nova, hold for a minute. I kind of gesture to Urzan and Alderia to like move away from the struggle so that they can't hear.
Okay. Move.
Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm so focused on like trying to make sure it's happening. Maybe we tell him that we're not gonna kill him. That we'll let him go if he tells us where the villagers are, because that's all we want. I already made it clear to him that we were doing this because they were attacking the village.
You're saying that to us?
What?
Are you saying that to us?
Yeah. I drag
Alright.
you away from Nova and the struggle so that we can talk privately.
Just to deceive him?
Essentially, yes.
Um,
I really have no intentions of letting him go, to be honest.
I dislike deception. I'd rather just tell the thing that we're going to slit its fucking throat.
But if it won't tell us where the villagers are, if we tell it we're going to kill it,
If you do the lying, I won't stop you.
I have no problem with that.
I'm okay with that.
I nod, don't say anything, and I turn back around.
Okay.
I walk back up to Nova.
So, and as a point of order, Urzan, are you choosing to cast command on it to revert?
No, I won't do that.
Okay.
I was thinking that it was unable to speak.
No, it's currently refusing to speak because it's pinned down by a giant maul,
Right.
and being told it's about to be turned in / murdered. So it's more roaring and struggling against the thing. So you can try and talk to it.
I'm going to prepare a guiding bolt,
Okay.
That's fair.
almost like sadly.
I go back and in Elvish, I shout to him, "If you stop struggling, we will let you go if you give us the information we want."
Go ahead and roll a deception check.
I think that's a good thing. 17.
17. That's still a success, despite a decent roll of the creature. Nova, what was that roll that I had you roll earlier? As a result,
You muted, buddy.
you're muted.
9.
9. Okay. Your arms are
I don't know. I
starting to
keep
get
forgetting
tired.
tonight.
Arms are tired. The legs are kind of a little shaky from holding this creature. Not stronger than you by any means, especially with the maul on top of it, but just the sheer ferocity and persistence is starting to wear you out. Kind of like if you've ever like weed whacked and your arms gets shaky afterwards, or like jackhammered or something. Kind of feeling a little tired. Still capable though.
Yeah, there's a joke there about me jackhammering. I'm gonna let it.
If you jackhammer too much, your arms get shaky, Nova.
Sure. Yep.
Don't tell Jasmine that.
Oh.
Anyways,
Who's Jasmine?
Yeah, that really took a second. there. I was
imaginary
like,
Dungeons and
Well,
Dragons girlfriend.
to be fair, that is my mother's dog's name.
Oh, I can see the confusion.
Ah, that makes
Don't
the whole
tell
Jasmine
Jasmine.
thing better.
Well, she's not. She's Jazzy. My main girl, Jazzy.
But Kyler, what do you say? Kind
still in Elvish. The whole reason we came here is because you were essentially kidnapping and transforming the villagers. We want them back. That's all we care about here. If you can tell us where they are.
Replying to you in common.
The Elvish tongue doesn't agree with this form.
I'll switch. That's fair.
I would stick my tongue
The
out
only
at him.
reason we are doing this is because we want the villagers back. If you can tell us where they are and lead us to them, we will let you go.
They've gone
Gone where?
feral.
So they're completely wolves now.
When the moon rises.
And there's no hope for them.
Yes. None that I know. Perhaps elsewhere.
Can you tell us where they are?
Not right now. Perhaps I could sniff them out.
Do I have your word you'll do this and not attempt to run if we let you go?
You've my word.
Insight. I don't trust this
insight.
fucking
Yeah, man, I ain't got no problem turning you into red confetti like I did your friend.
After 2023.
Natural 20? Lying through his goddamn teeth. There's a
Right.
0% chance. You are gathering that this creature would probably not commit suicide against your blade, so to speak. Like, if it didn't ever get presented an opportunity to run away, it wouldn't take it.
Right.
But at the first moment that he had, he would be gone before you could do anything about it. So, and that's just a bit of basic intuition, and you're guessing, you're kind of getting this vibe that it's willing to say anything to get out of the position it's in right now.
Oh, am I really gonna do this? I think I'm gonna do this. I take the potion of fire giant strength that I have.
Mm.
I drink it.
Okay.
I grab his throat and I start to squeeze.
Okay. He starts choking.
Yeah, I got 25 strength right now for an hour.
Not even having to roll. You're crushing this creature.
No, I'm purposely making it painful. I'm not trying to kill him. I'm trying to hurt him.
Go ahead and roll me an intimidation check.
Oh God, I'm on fire. 27.
27. I mean, the creature.
As he's choking, I know you're lying. And I squeeze a little bit harder.
Yeah, I mean, if it had purple to show, it would be that way. Pretty
All
much
we
arrow.
want is where the villagers are. You get to live if you show us where that is. Do you prefer to die this way, gasping for breath, choking on your own blood? I let up just a little so he can breathe.
I'll track them for you.
If you lie to me again, I will make sure that your death is the most painful I can imagine.
I'll track them for you.
I'm gonna insight him one more time before I let him go.
Okay, go ahead
I
and roll
still
an
don't
insight check. Okay.
Oh, that's so much worse. That's an 11.
Seems to be telling the truth as far as you can tell. He says he'll track him for you. Seems thoroughly terrified.
I let him go. Nova.
Kind of rests like a claw against your arm as it like kind of falls down, just completely energyless.
I smack his hand off. I put a hand on Nova's arm and I turn to Erzan. If he runs, burn him up. And I turn back to Nova. Let him go.
I'm like dangling spit at him. Huh? Yeah, I'll raise it and like the blades go back. I'm just like looks like ready to get him again.
And I'm still close, but I stand out of the way of Erzan still holding that guiding bolt ready.
Okay. The creature eventually.
Here's the terms. You stay within line of sight always. lead us to them, and you go free.
As you wish. Go ahead and roll me another deception check.
Please be. Oh fuck!
Natural
So
one.
it's a 9, but it's a natural 1.
Agreeable. If I may.
You see blood start trickling out of this creature's nose as the reopened windpipes start bellowing. I can't make it sound cool right now because I've got a stuffed nose, but you know how it starts breathing deeply.
Follow. Keep up. This way.
On all fours, pounces off into the brush.
Hot on his tail.
Can I follow as a wolf?
You may. Okay.
Smart.
So that I
seems
can
to be
smell
moving
him.
pretty quickly too. Probably about 80 feet per turn. So unless
So he's running away.
he seems to be leading you through the forest, and I'll say for the
I
purpose
can
of this-
run. I can run 30 feet as a movement speed. That's over twice as fast.
Well, he's dashing, so you can
Yeah.
run 60 feet. Eventually, assuming you don't do anything to catch up to him, he eventually turns around, stops.
You'll never catch them if you move that slow.
Don't worry, we've got our own wolf.
Is she coming with me? Leaving you all behind.
We'll make as best haste as we can.
Well, I deeply apologize if it's not enough.
DM,
Yeah,
can I grab you in whispers for a second?
sure.
I was gonna say we could all mute if you guys just want to stay in here.
Oh, he's gone now, so sorry, Tad. This is probably going to be hell for your...
Nah, looks great.
Wow.
Should I have disconnected when Jesse left?
Hello.
What?
My phone disconnected from Discord when Jesse and Zach left.
Oh, weird. I'm Alderia. Hello.
Wow, you look just like me.
Oh, come on, you guys. That was Al.
Ow!
Are we back to normal?
Princess Al. Yeah, looks good.
Okay. Yeah, the werewolf.
I think we can catch them moving this fast. Oh, so be it.
Starts moving at a pace more similar to your own, trying to track these creatures. I'm gonna have this werewolf roll a survival check if anyone wants to aid him in trying to find these creatures. It's gonna be a pretty high DC, seeing as the speed they're moving is pretty quick. And
I'll
there are
aid
4
him.
of them. You'll aid him? Okay. Sadly, you guys get about probably to 3:30 in the morning. Panting, the werewolf stops.
It's not enough. They're moving too quickly. Is there anything
Can
you
you
can
tell
do?
where they're heading? They must be going somewhere.
Wherever their noses take them, I wager.
They don't have a den. You don't have a place that you call home.
No. They're feral. Alone.
This farce has gone on long enough. We're asking a feral dog to chase feral dogs. Put it out of its fucking misery. I'm gonna cast a guiding bolt at the werewolf.
Okay, go ahead. and
I'm
roll a
gonna
hit.
jump in the way.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and I'll say roll to hit Irazan and roll a performance check, Kylar.
Sure. I rolled a 22.
I'm not like trying to like pretend to jump in the way. I'm actually jumping in the way.
No, yeah, well, I know I'm just seeing. I don't have a better. I guess acrobatics, performance, or acrobatics.
And performance is way better.
Sure, I'll give you a performance check.
21.
21. I will say the 22 of the accuracy of the shot is going to slightly supersede this and miss towards the werewolf. You see Kylar place himself in front of him and just barely shooting out from under Kylar's side. You still snag the werewolf, almost clipping your friend. Kylar kind of Naruto, like.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was picturing.
So you can go ahead and roll the damage on the creature.
Okay.
Keep in mind it has sustained damage already.
17 radiant damage.
How do you want to do this?
Rip. I was hoping
Sorry,
it'd
man.
survive.
Sorry,
I'll just
man.
hurl a spear at it and spear it through the chest.
You see, in a very familiar form.
It's an execution. It's not a.
Yeah.
You know.
Very swiftly, the spear kind of comes out almost like shinobi blade style out of the hieroglyphs of arcane magic, curving around you and slashing across the front of this creature. Creature shrivels up, almost raisin-like before reverting into elven form, falling onto two knees and kind of just laying slumped, gravity holding it there. Kind of brownish hair dripping down long against the sides of its face.
This should have happened 3 hours ago.
Pinch the bridge of my nose. You don't think that there was even any merit to try and find the others?
It sounds like they're far gone from now. They're gonna live their lives as feral wolves.
They come back
they-
to themselves in the day.
But they live fairly, like this creature.
And you don't see any redemption.
Not if they've already killed people. An eye for an eye, Kyler.
You've killed people, Erzan. You just did right now. I watched you.
An eye for an eye. My reckoning will come.
I start walking back towards town.
Okay.
Shall we go get some sleep? Nova, Alderia?
Yeah, man.
Okay, with the corpse of the unidentified elven individual in the dirt, following Kyler's begrudging trail towards town, the tension slowly rising amongst the party. Eventually, you do make it back. The town is yours to do with what you will. Things seem normal around here. No signs of werewolf attack or anything of such nature.
I mean, how long does it take us to get back to town? We were chasing
Probably
that
just
thing
an
for
hour
like
and a half.
2 hours.
Seemed that you guys were within the vicinity of the town pretty well still. The creature probably ferally roaming the woods looking for food is what you were guessing.
We
based
probably
on-
weren't heading like straight away from town, just like in the
No,
area.
yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
we were
maybe 2 hours, I'll
meandering.
say. 2 hours. You're kind of meandering back and forth. So, and now it's the peak of day, the very, not the peak, the very edge of daylight as you return to town. Things seem to wake back up slowly. No signs of trauma or stress within the town, though.
Well, that's good.
What would y'all like to do?
Go to bed.
You are all very tired.
Yeah.
So what time is it then? That makes it 5?
Like 5:30, 5:30 in the morning.
36. Okay. As we walk into the astrolabe, is Rowan or Holly up?
You see Holly up, just tending to some very basic kind of, tidying here and there, and enjoying. You'd guess probably enjoying some teas. Rowan seems to not be in sight currently.
Okay. I'll go over to Holly and say, we took care of 2 of the other werewolves. We ascertained that their leader, Dusk, was the one who could perform the ritual, so there shall be no more transformations. Unfortunately, the 4 people that were taken are gone forever.
This is grave news, but also hopeful. Thank you for your forthcomingness and honesty, Erza.
You're welcome.
We've appreciated your help so far.
I must tell you, the 4 live, but they are beasts. Be wary.
We will revisit the tales of our ancestors and defend ourselves accordingly.
I'm
Thank
going
you.
to go get some sleep. Thank you.
well earned. May the stars guide your path.
May Tyr watch over you.
With a simple head nod, she seems to return to whatever she was doing, kind of sipping tea and then moseying very slowly about the astrolabe. You go off to sleep, eventually waking, unless there's anything else anybody would like to do in the mid-afternoon.
Man, I need a stiff drink after all that one. But it's 5 a.m, so I don't know. Maybe
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
at 5 a.m, baby. Yeah.
At 5 o'clock.
They hadn't specified in the song. God, maybe Rowan or Holly's got to hook up on like a classy chateau or something. I don't know what y'all drink here.
Are you looking for a tavern?
I'm just
Or
assuming it's
more
not open yet, but yeah, I guess if there is one.
The tavern's, probably closed currently, but they have shown you a fine
I'm just
selection
like
of liquors and wines.
peeking.
Nothing.
I'll try to
nothing
peek
that's
through the
like-
windows of the tavern first. Is there anybody in there?
So you kind of go through. You see one halfling individual seems to have their back polishing something.
Hey man, can I get a drink?
Huge hulking dragonborn.
I just saved the town. 5 minutes? I've been up.
See him approach the door. You hear,
That's right.
it's 5 a.m.
I've been up all night fighting werewolves, man.
Go rest then. Get a drink tonight when we're open.
All right.
Shoo.
All right.
Go on.
A halfling shooing me off.
He's ballsy.
All right, man. Fine. All right. Shoot.
You're gathering a tavern keep. Probably has dealt with people who want early drinks before.
Them thirsty folks.
Thirsty
That's what you're
folks.
saying. All right, I'll go try to bother Rowan and Holly.
Okay. Holly eventually able to provide you with some fine vodkas distilled.
I knew you.
Right
I knew I
here.
liked you.
Yes, well, you should get some rest as well, dear. She kind of pats your shoulder.
That's the plan, but tradition.
I cannot mock tradition.
I heard you don't.
You
You're
don't
not-
you don't fucks with tradition.
You're not supposed to fucks with tradition. Thank you. I'll just take the bottle. I'll get out of your hair. Are we staying here? What are we doing? Where are we sleeping?
You guys have been staying at the Astrolabe.
Cool. Yeah, I'll just go to my room. Just go into my room with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Unless anybody else is up, then I'm offering some.
I don't have a problem.
You got a problem. I don't
You
have
got
a problem.
you got a problem.
All right, you do enjoy some drinks. Anyone that wants to join may. Eventually, the night does
Final drink alone.
conclude. Nova taking a sorry buzz. You're guessing some of the tension from the argument before is kind of waxing into people's decision whether to drink or not. Also, the fact that
I'm
it's 5
oblivious to all of it.
Nova happily oblivious.
And with that, you guys do find the afternoon to yourselves. Once again, the course of action is yours to decide. Whatever you'd like to do, you may.
I try to find Rowan alone.
I'd say eventually, with a little tact, you're able to kind of sequester him.
He got a
He
thing
seems
for
to
my
be-
daddy.
Huh?
Said he's got a thing for my daddy.
He doesn't
Yeah.
like
Okay. Yeah. That's not what I thought you said.
Oh no.
Eventually, Rowan, you see him kind of off enjoying a small horn that he had handcrafted. You take it, kind of polishing it. Yes, Kyla. What can I do for you?
I'm terribly sorry to interrupt, but there's something that's weighing on my mind.
If you would like to share it with me, I am all ears.
I'm sure you've heard by now, as we've been sleeping most of the day, but we did manage to find the two that seem to have come with Kuma to the village. I attempted to force him to locate the others after a certain number of hours of no success. Certain members of the party were fed up with that line of inquiry and decided to end his life. However, I don't see the 4 that are gone as lost causes.
Well, I tend to agree. At the heart of the matter, no soul that is left within its vessel is one I wish to forsake.
Indeed, they will be dangerous, as they have no control over the transformation, and they become feral when they are transformed, according to the rather dubious source of the werewolf that we had attempt to find them. But, that being said, I don't believe they should be killed outright. Erinn is a little zealous in his beliefs. I find myself more moderate.
Which I respect. I will consider this greatly when further deciding what our best course of action is.
Bigly.
How bigly? Bigly consider. I do appreciate the help you've provided thus far, Kylar, and hopefully we can resolve this issue of our own accord peacefully.
That's my hope as well. I couldn't put this to bed without at least voicing concern that they be treated as still human.
You said there was a sister tribe to the Druids of the Stars. Can you tell me more of them?
What?
What?
temple.
Oh! I was like, wah. Okay.
Oh?
Yes. They live in the labyrinth of Acamus Mora, and they practice augury for seems like many purposes, but the vision that Aldire brought to you, we all saw, and if it was a hoax, it was extremely convincing.
I can most assure you, if they follow the star signs as we do, it was no hoax.
Maybe not in the same manner as you, but it does seem that there were too many similarities to ignore.
Perhaps it is time I took up the mantle and traveled the wastes once again. Oh, it's been so long. I think
Don't your
perhaps
people
if
need you?
my people do need me, Kylar. There are 4 of them out there now who need answers. I will not abandon them.
Well, if you seek the same place that we went, I do have a map.
That would be greatly appreciated.
I always have it in a tube, and I just hand it to him.
A tube.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if you'll be able to get in, though. Apparently, they restructure the labyrinth according to their auguries, and it is extremely specific based on that. It was set up for each of us individually. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to penetrate the labyrinth.
It is a great concern.
If only we had something that returns you exactly to people.
I ain't using that, man.
Is there
It's
any
a
way
one-time
to
shot.
communicate with
You're like
them?
halfway nice. Like you're doing good stuff, but
I mean, he's not entirely altruistic.
oh, we know.
Yeah, we know. He doesn't.
That's fair. We did receive a stone that allowed us to return once. I would offer it, but I have a feeling that we'll need it in the future. And
Would
it's not a
desire to
sender
hamstring you.
message. It's an actual transportation.
You are a powerful mage of some sort. No, there's no magics that can inform them of my arrival or anything like this.
None that I currently possess. There are magics that would allow that, but none that I am capable of casting.
Do you know anyone who may be able to help me? Who could cast such magics? Perhaps you seem well studied, perhaps a university or something.
Do I know of any universities?
You probably would have a base knowledge of a few magic universities. Very out of the way though, like Dalikos.
Nova's School of Hard Knocks.
The
Yeah.
ones I can think of require the sender to be extremely familiar with the recipient.
You don't know anyone that would be familiar.
If we were to get a scroll of sending, I could potentially cast it. I'm familiar with the seer myself, but I don't have access to that magic on my own.
I see. Well, I think this is an avenue I should explore, despite these factors. I will send a scouting party in that case. We will
Can you
determine if
get
it
word
is-
to Alderia, if need be?
through some manners I could. It
If
is
you
not
can.
the most surefire, but
If you can and are able to locate magic such as that, I would be happy to cast it.
very well. Perhaps I shall start there then.
Seems as good a place as any.
I appreciate your consult, Kyler. I'll take this deeply into consideration and we'll make our next moves accordingly for the best interest of these lost individuals.
I appreciate your listening, if nothing else.
If there's nothing else,
No, by all means, I
Star
stand up
Scout
and as well.
seems to let you off to your own devices.
Should
Goes
go find
about
Nova.
his business.
Nova, let's get a drink.
Huh?
Although it looks like you've already had some.
A couple. Well, yeah, and you're just gonna like flip on the floor shakes a little bit. Mm.
Yeah, I didn't really take you as one to say no to another drink.
Never.
First one's on me.
I'll put pants on.
You guys go out for a drink. Is there anything the party would like to do? Okay. I'll say, just for the purpose of brevity, as we are kind of at a crossroads here, you guys enjoy your drink, and that is probably, as you guys, unless you guys want to discuss maybe future plans, we'll probably end the session there, as the quest is complete.
Well, I mean, I believe part
Is there-
2 to all this was finding El Dargarino.
That's next on
Dargan.
the list.
Dargrino.
Yeah, hey,
Hey.
that was next on the list, yeah. This was just kind of like a side stop that evolved.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Little side quest.
That was 3 sessions long.
Well, to be fair, we take short sessions and long goof around / role play segments.
I've been known to
Which
have
is
a
cool.
goof.
But that's
I
what
like.
makes it
In
fun.
case anyone is wondering, that is what we want to do. So, 3 session side quests. Prepare yourself for more.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to end it
Boy.
here. Otherwise, we'll be pushing on a lot longer.
Hmm.
So, thank you guys all for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll come back next week, perhaps with a little discovery of a green dragon, or perhaps failure to discover. Let's hope.
Jargon.
Drag it bit
See you next week.
like bacon bits.
Okay. Good night.
Bye.